Granger says his choice for Prime Minister will be aligned with what is best for the people of Guyana. Bright Christmas for public servants and local economy to grow by 86% in 2020. Stay with us for the next half an hour as we take you through major stories covered during the week of November 2 to 8. Daddy! His Excellency President David Granger has declared that his choice of a prime ministerial candidate for the 2020 general and regional elections will be aligned with what is best for the people of Guyana.
The head of state said he is very respectful of the contributions the six parties can make to the victory of the coalition.
I am a prudent and wise leader, and I will make the choice which I feel will deliver the best results for the people, the best outcomes for the people of Guyana. My objective, and I'm sure the objective of the six parties in the coalition, would be to ensure that Guyana gets the best.
Both the Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change have been holding preliminary talks to work through a three-stage process. Stage 1, the agreement of the core principles, has already been completed. A major point of the core principles decided on by the two parties was that nothing appearing in the Commingsburg Accord should conflict with the Constitution. President Granger said the two sides addressed those issues appearing in the Accord of 2015.
There is nothing in the Constitution which allows a political party to choose a prime ministerial candidate. Once the president is elected, the president has the authority under the Constitution to select the prime minister. Now, we can have an agreement outside of the Constitution that the prime ministerial candidate or nominees for the prime ministership could be made, and I will make the choice.
Reporting on his meeting with AFC leader and Minister of Public Security, the Honorable Kemarach Ramchitan, last Thursday, the head of state said the leaders dealt with issues that were referred to them by the respective teams during the preliminary talks. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Bilateral ties continue to be forged and strengthened as this week the head of state accepted letters of credence from the ambassadors of Jamaica, Malaysia, and the Holy See.
The head of state received the credentials from non-resident Apostolic Nuncio of the Holy See, His Excellency Archbishop Fortunatus Buchuku, High Commissioner for Jamaica, His Excellency Arthur Williams, and the High Commissioner for Malaysia, His Excellency Datuk Lim Jue Jin. At the Ministry of the Presidency, the head of state assured that his government will continue to strengthen and enhance relations for the mutual benefit and the prosperity of the citizens.
I assure you of the full support of my government and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the discharge of your duties, and I wish you every success in fulfilling your mandate.
Ghana established formal diplomatic relations with the Holy See on June 9, 1997. Whilst Jamaica and Guyana established relations on Ghana's Independence Day, May 26, 1966. The Malaysian relations were established on April 26, 1976. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Public servants can look forward to a bright Christmas with an increase in their salaries, which will be retroactive to January 1. There will be no one-off end-of-year bonus. The retroactive salary increase will be applied to salaries for 2020 as well. Public servants' salaries have already been increased by over 62% under the coalition government. The Christmas retroactive increase will increase this further. On Wednesday, His Excellency President David Granger said he was awaiting advice from the Finance Minister on the availability of funds to pay year-end bonuses. Since coming into office in 2015, the coalition government has been providing either bonuses or retroactive salary increases. In another show of confidence in the local economy, Unicorn Guyana Incorporated was inaugurated. The launch of this new company is yet another step forward in government's plan to build a business landscape in Guyana and create more jobs, paving the way for better paying opportunities for Guyanese.
Unicorn Guyana Incorporated, UGI, a joint venture between Guyana's Amazonia Expert Services Incorporated and Ghanaian company Unicorn Western Engineering Services, has been launched in Guyana. The company, which specializes in technical training, is expected to enable both Guyanese and other CARICOM nationals to be accredited to work on rigs off Guyana. Speaking at the launch on Monday, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. the Honourable Karen Cummins, who delivered remarks on behalf of the Minister of State, the Honourable Dawn Hastings Williams, noted that it was a momentous occasion in that government remained forceful in its quest to build and upgrade the business landscape in Guyana.
Under President Granger's leadership, we have progressed well and have come a long way over the 4 years. We are stabilizing the economy and driving growth in established industries and developing new and nascent industries through increased investment and international partnerships. At the heart of this is our plan to ensure that all Guyanese have a better standard of living.
Minister Cummins reiterated that government has taken steps to transform Guyana's international reputation, which is critical to attract investment and the interest of companies like Unicorn Ghana Incorporated.
I am proud that I can now confidently say that Guyana is a country that international stakeholders want to do business with. I'm proud that we have set a new direction for Guyana, a new takeoff, a new trajectory, and that this is giving us hope to, especially to our young people, and creating opportunities for all Guyanese. Businesses like UGI are an important part of our plans to create more jobs for Guyanese and to ensure increased local participation in our oil and gas sector at all levels of the value chain, including services and secondary industries.
Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Unicorn Western Holdings, John Bonney, noted that the company holds strong values where safety, integrity, leadership, commitment, accountability, and professionalism are concerned, and has much to offer Guyana's budding petroleum sector, as it has been in operation for more than 2 decades. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
As investors continue to pour into the country, Guyana's economy is expected to grow by 86% next year. This is after having expanded 4.4% this year, according to the International Monetary Fund. That is 14 times the projected pace of China and driven by the discoveries of oil. Minister of Finance, the Honourable Winston Jordan, in an invited comment, said, "We're moving from a very low base to a stratospheric leap." While Guyana's annual gross domestic product is $4 billion, it will expand to about $15 billion by 2024, according to the IMF. The government plans to use most of the money derived from its royalties to build highways to connect coastal towns to the sparsely populated interior, which has gold, diamond, and bauxite deposits, Minister Jordan said. The oil sector will represent about 40% of the economy within 5 years, the IMF calculates. The government expects the initial $300 million a year in revenue from profit sharing and royalties to more than double after a second offshore well starts production around 2022. According to Minister Jordan, that money will go directly to a sovereign wealth fund the country established this year, which will be used for intergenerational savings to protect against oil price swings and to fund development plans. Guyana has massive potential for interested investors. This was the message shared by Prime Minister the Honourable Moses Nagamutu while in Canada, speaking at a reception hosted in his honour by the Toronto West End Group.
Guyana has become, out of many, many years of travel, many, many years of difficulties, the centre of attraction as the new oil oligarchy in the Caribbean. We have become the shining star. So today, I'm grateful for the invitation to be with you here, to be able to give you the good news that our country, whether you're Guyanese or Guyanese Canadians, whether you're an investor or potential investor from any other country or from other organizations, is that our country has potentials.
Prime Minister Nagamutu updated the audience of Guyanese Canadians and investors of the achievements the coalition government thus far. He highlighted the achievement of STEM Guyana, the recent CX Cape results, infrastructure works, among others.
The country has been making strides, making progress forward, and we are confident that the leadership that has been provided in our country in the last 4.5 years, had it not been for the disruption caused politically, with an event that came suddenly and created a pause in the development pace in the country, we probably would have been far further ahead than I'm reporting to you tonight.
The Prime Minister also noted that the coalition's track record in office will stand the test of time and see them re-elected for a second term to complete the transformation started under their tenure.
In 2020, early 2020, March the 2nd, there will be new elections. And the good news is, based on his track record in the last 4.75 years, the coalition, which is the APNU-AFC, is on the road to returning to office for the second term.
Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
In news coming out of the extractive sector, Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman, met with the consultancy team for the restructuring of the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission. The consultancy team is expected to review the GGMC's operating procedures and structure thoroughly.
Reviewing the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission GDMC's operating procedures, structure and functions is being done to ensure that the government agency is prepared and in line with international standards as Guyana heads into a new era of an oil and gas-based economy.
A general review of our operating procedures, our functions, our structure, with the intention that with the mandate that we have and the changing sector that we will be going into the next decade with, the Commission has to do some change management. We have to reorganize ourselves, and we have to make sure that we become efficient with the resources that are available to us.
The Jamaica-based A to Z consultancy firm, which was retained by the GGMC earlier in this year for the exercise, met on Monday at the GGMC Brickdam office to provide Minister of Natural Resources, the Honourable Raphael Trotman, with an update on their observation thus far.
Today they are to give a kind of a preliminary report on where things are. I know that this agency has come in for quite a bit of scrutiny. I believe that the management and staff of the GGMC are hardworking, wanting to do their best for the country, not pretending that they know everything and getting everything right. And so we believe that this consultancy will help us to move forward.
The first official report should be compiled and presented by December 31st, 2019. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Meanwhile, the Director of the Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino, recently shed light on several issues within Guyana's emerging petroleum sector.
Dr. Bino stated that the department has made a conscious effort to not issue oil blocks until certain measures are in place.
We need to enhance the legislative framework. So we will not be going to market until that framework is more robust. 2, we have been on record as indicating we need to revise the production sharing agreement because there are elements of the basin that has now been de-risked. So Guyana can have more favorable terms going forward. 3, we've also indicated that we need to do 2D and 3D seismic shoots so that we understand the prospectivity that is there, which will allow us to then issue blocks in specific quadrant.
The Energy Director further noted that the crude lifting agreement has advanced significantly and is being finalized and is expected to be completed in the new week. The government of Guyana will be a signatory on the document along with the Stabroek Block co-venturers.
It is an industry standard document or template that is being used based on the Association of International Petroleum Negotiators Crude Lifting Agreement. And it is being applied and customized to take the Guyanese context into consideration.
He also highlighted that while there has been concern about the lack of sanctions in the local content policy, these will be included in the legislation.
The local content policy is different from the local content legislation, and sanctions often are not found within policy documents. And that's the issue that we have here. So while we understand the need for sanctions, that will come in subsequent legislation.
The EEGPL is collaborating with the Technical and Vocational Education Training Council on implementing 2 pilot programs to build technical capacity in the sector. In the meantime, the Department of Energy continues to work assiduously to ensure that Guyana is prepared for the petroleum sector. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Guyanese continue to take advantage of the opportunities available to them in the emerging petroleum industry. On Thursday, there was a massive turnout at Parkreen as Eldorado Offshore hosted a career fair for jobs within the sector.
Human Resources Director of Eldorado Offshore Guyana Inc., Sherry Farrell, told InfoHub that this exercise followed a similar one conducted in London.
So because Eldorado is a recruitment agency for the oil and gas sector mainly, we also have non-oil and gas clients. We recognize from the CVs that we would have received that persons lack basic resume writing skills, and a lot of people come into the office daily to find out information about the different positions that are available, training that would be required for those positions, and the different companies that we work for. So we decided, you know what, it's time that we hold a fair where the masses can come out.
Farrell said that based on the feedback, they are expecting to interact with almost 1,000 persons before the end of the day. Speaking to InfoHub, participants at the fair expressed their appreciation for the opportunity provided.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing going for Guyana. Hopefully, they work out good for us and head in the right direction.
I think it's really great. It's a great opportunity, and I pray that everybody benefits from it.
Some of the companies present at the career fair included SMB Offshore, Stena Drilling, Nalco Champion Guyana Inc., Rely on New Tech, among others. Representatives from these companies expressed enthusiasm to be contributing to the local content in Guyana. Over the course of the day, participants will be engaged in various workshops aimed at building their individual capacity. It was disclosed that plans are in the pipeline to take the career fair to other parts of the country, with Berbice being the next stop. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
On the security front, traffic ranks of the Guyana Police Force have once again benefited from training, this time in identifying and responding to suspected cases of trafficking in persons.
The Ministry of Social Protection's Counter Trafficking in Persons Unit is taking the fight to officers who are more likely to encounter TIP victims. Traffic officers of the Guyana Police Force were on Thursday prepped for any such occurrence at the Cara Lodge Hotel. The Counter Trafficking in Persons Unit wants the officers to be equipped with the knowledge and skills from an investigative approach to identify and refer suspicious cases of trafficking in persons.
Today, we are creating history. This is the first of its kind training course that targets traffic ranks in Guyana. We have never had this before in Guyana. And I think you should count yourselves lucky, and you should give yourselves a round of applause.
Guyana maintains its Tier 1 status, and Commissioner of Police Leslie James wants the country to remain at that level. Where there is work to be done, he noted that the police force will spare no effort in helping to completely wipe out the scourge.
Our immigration department is also part of the exercise of being aware of the trafficking in persons scourge. And they've been sensitized, they've had exposures, that is training with regard to this situation. And I should also state that the Guyana Police Force is part of the ministerial effort by way of a task force to engage deliberately dealing with trafficking in persons.
Statistics so far for this year have shown 144 victims from 21 reported cases. Out of the total number of victims, 142 persons were exploited sexually. The police have had 30 charges with 8 convictions. To ensure that the issue is effectively tackled, Commissioner James cautioned ranks to pay special attention to vehicles, as victims are more frequently transported to or from the place of exploitation.
You, the traffic ranks, mainly, you are the persons who will engage directly with the motorists on the roadway, persons who are driving trucks and enclosed vehicles. That is a high possibility that persons in their quest to traffic persons, they may have people kept in enclosed vehicles and traversing our roadways.
Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
A state-of-the-art lapidary in the Region 8 community of Monkey Mountain was recently commissioned.
Residents of the Monkey Mountain village in Region 8 will now be producing jewelry made from semi-precious stones found on the plains of the North Pacaraima Mountains, as a $16 million lapidary facility was commissioned in the community. The facility was officially declared open by First Lady Mrs. Sandra Granger, who said that the project is in keeping with the decade of development which was declared by President David Granger.
The opening of this lapidary represents the convergence of fulfillment of several promises, because it combines poverty reduction, employment and youth service, happy household, cultural development, and sustainable tourism development. Trained citizens of this community will be reaping the benefits of the many and various precious and semi-precious stones found in this region.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock said that the project aims to enhance the living standard of the indigenous peoples within the sub-region.
Our focus specific to these programs and projects can be summarized as a mission to make our young people employable and fit for purpose through skills training.
It is equipped with modern equipment that will be used to cut, engrave, and polish the semi-precious stone. 10 youths were trained in neighboring Brazil to man and operate the facility. The project will benefit some 20 persons from within Monkey Mountain and also neighboring communities of Tusaning, Maikwak, and Taruka. From the beautiful Monkey Mountain village in the North Pacaraima, with videographer Leon Leong, I am Sinica Thorne for InfoHub.
Due to the torrential rains affecting many regions, the Civil Defense Commission had issued a flood warning effective November 5 and extended through Friday, November 8.
The Civil Defense Commission, since yesterday morning, activated the National Emergency Monitoring System to ensure that we have contacts with all the different administrative regions.
During circumstances like these, the CDC makes frequent contact with the various regional democratic councils for information. InfoHub learned that the heavy rains have not had a devastating impact on the regions thus far.
I think the impact was not so significant in most communities because the pumps, or most of the pumps, or all the pumps I was informed, under the main city council control, were actually pumping water off. And as soon as the tide turns, and at the time when they were able to open the cocoa doors and sluices, they were able to drain the water faster off of the land.
The Director General noted that places like All Boys Town was not heavily affected when in past times the community was known for its tendency to easily flood after prolonged spells of rain.
Show that the work done by the Civil Defense Commission is supporting that community in cleaning the drains and reduction in garbage disposal in the drains and the canal, and the work done by the main city council and other stakeholders that supported All Boys Town was actually fruitful.
According to the Hydrometeorological Service, Wednesday and Thursday's rainfall in the coastal plains is forecasted to be approximately 0.5 inches, with Friday likely to experience 1 inch of rainfall. The Civil Defense Commission has advised residents in high-risk communities to take the following precautions: place sandbags where needed, unplug all electrical appliances, elevate all household furniture and appliances, relocate livestock to higher ground, use water purification tablets as prescribed, ensure children and elderly stay clear of flood waters, visit the nearest health center if you experience any skin irritation or feel sick. If your community is flooded, kindly call the Civil Defense Commission 24 Hours National Emergency Monitoring System on 623-1700, 600-7500, or 226-1114.
Reporter from the KTC wall with videographer Leon Leong, I am Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
The expression of India's culture will be one of the highlights of Guyana's Golden Jubilee celebration next year. This was confirmed when the Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, His Excellency Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, during a courtesy call on Minister of Social Cohesion, the Honorable Dr. George Norton.
Guyana has very big plans for the celebration of the Golden Jubilee of its Republic anniversary in February 2020. Included in those plans is the inclusion of several countries that have historical and cultural ties here. One such country is the Republic of India. This morning, India's High Commissioner to Guyana, His Excellency Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, paid a courtesy call on Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton.
Here it is that we've been visited by the Indian High Commission, and he has agreed to be part of this by providing a troupe cultural troupe from India to come here to Guyana to perform as part of the Jubilee celebration, along with getting involved in having a short course, symposium, workshop kind of on information technology, of which they have developed quite a lot in.
Relations between the two countries since Guyana's independence in 1966 have been cordial. India's High Commissioner to Guyana, Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, said his country, rich in culture, stands ready to collaborate with Guyana. The country has a number of graduate scholarships available for Guyanese students, 2 of which are exclusively for art and culture.
I'm so proud to be in Guyana because you are a diverse country, multi-ethnic country, and so is the case here in India. We also have various tribes in India, various religions which have thrived throughout thousands of years. And for us, we can share good experiences, the good practices. And at the same time, I was discussing with the Honorable Minister how the Indian government has worked very hard to develop the tribals in India, at the same time trying to promote social harmony.
Guyana and India share close historical and ancestral bonds which continue to deepen cultural exchanges. The common love for sports, particularly cricket and hockey, has also inspired healthy competition and exchanges. Reporting for InfoHub, Natasha Smith.
As we close, here's a reminder from the Guyana Elections Commission.
Today, we will discuss the objection aspect in GCOM's claim and objection exercise, which is currently ongoing. GCOM's Public Relations Officer Yolanda Ward joins us again to break it down for you.
The objections aspect is really, as it says, objecting to the inclusion of a name on the list that you believe may not have met the eligibility requirements to be included on that list. A lot of times there's an emphasis on debt, but if you have a suspicion that an individual who you see is listed on that list may not have had the eligibility requirements to be on that list, then you can object. Of course, with an objection, you're required to provide the evidence. The name that you're objecting to must be on the same list where your name is listed. So it should be on the same divisional list. Example, I cannot be living on the East Coast, but object, and my name is on the list on the East Coast, but I'm objecting to someone in Georgetown.
It's that simple. Remember, you have until November 11 to make an objection. Get registered and ensure that you are on the list.
This has been InfoHub Recap, which looked at major stories carried during the week of November 2 to November 8. Remember to subscribe to our website for more stories and follow us on our social media platforms. Also, do take some time to review the Diaspora Digest and other publications found on our website. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.